Hey folks, Kevin here. Well, today I thought I'd post a video on some of the gooseberry plants that we grow here. Gooseberry plants are members of the ribes genus, and including the different currants, the black currant, the pink currant, the red currant. Those three we do have here. The white currant, we don't have that one. The hostaberries, which is a cross between Jostaberry, they're a cross between a gooseberry and a black currant. Black currant is really super nutrient rich, and we're always trying to find the right types of plants that have multiple functions here on our property, and some that we can propagate easily so that we can plant more of these throughout the various food forests and all. So these one of the things I'd say about the gooseberries, they're really early to leaf out, and they flower pretty rapidly as well. So they are good plants for they are great plants for the insects on your property, the beneficial insects. They're pretty rich in various nutrients, manganese, vitamin C, B6, B5, and copper, and I can't think of the rest of them right now, but there's quite a few different nutrients that they're rich in. They aren't loaded with anthocyanins like my favorite blueberries and blackberries and black currants and all, really loaded with potent antioxidants. But these berries don't have a lot of sugar, don't have a lot of fat. They got a significant amount of fiber, and they really do taste good. The Invicta, I think, are quite sweet. Some of them can be a little bit tart. You know, the Hinumaki, I can never say that name, and the captivator. But the Invicta seems to do the very best here, despite the deer liking the new shoots that come up. Now, we propagate these by stooling or layering, and you can check out one of our videos on plant propagation in a playlist, and it goes over the different ways that we propagate these plants so we can have more and more plants to spread throughout the property. These plants, once they turn into a more bushy setting, the birds can't get to quite as many of the berries, and if you time it right, if you get to know when your berries are becoming ripe, you can get a good harvest from several plants. And it really does take a few plants. This is an example of one of the bare roots that we're selling. And as I mentioned, we propagate these by stooling and layering. You can propagate them by seed, by softwood cuttings, hardwood cuttings as well, all those ways. I grabbed several out of the ground when I came in here. So this is the second year's worth of growth, and so you can see last season's growth is just coming out here. Now, last season we had quite a drought, so everything didn't grow as well, and I got to talk about the growing conditions. But when they start to get their second year of growth, their thorns become more developed. And there's less of a chance after the second and third year that deer will really browse heavily on these. So these aren't really bothered after you protect them for a couple of years, at least on our property. Of course, on our property, there's lots of different plants that we plant just for the deer and the other wildlife so that they leave some of these alone. The soil for these plants, they don't like wet feet, so you don't want to plant them in a real wet place. We live in, basically this is all gravel here, but they didn't do so well when I first planted them, just with a little bit of sheet mulching right into gravel and wood chips on top of that. They really like lots of rich organics, so sandy and gravel soil, they don't have enough organic material in that soil unless that sandy soil has started to turn a more dark, rich color. So the plants do need a fair amount of organic material. Our wood chips that we break down over the years, that creates an optimal conditions for these guys. These guys, the soil is fungally dominated and they grow like crazy in those conditions. And so I just add more wood chips every year to mulch the ground where these plants are growing, and they tend to do extremely well. The Invictas do their very best here. and these are the greenish looking gooseberries. The captivator have a tan or amber sort of color, a little not quite as purple as the Hinumaki gooseberries, and I'm not sure I'm saying that correctly. But they are, both of them have two different types of sweetness, and I'm not a connoisseur. I really can't describe them, but both of them I enjoy a great deal. The Invicta seem easier to handle and to work with to me, and they grow extremely well. These are not the types of gooseberries that are described in on much online. They're a totally different genus than gooseberries that have all these wonderful medicinal properties. These certainly have great, fantastic medicinal phytonutrients and lots of fiber, low sugar and low fat, and beautiful minerals, the elements that we need for our body as well, the micronutrients. So these are great plants. I think they're wonderful. If you have any comments or questions or thoughts on growing these in your locations, please leave comments down below. But I just wanted to mention a little bit about these Invicta and captivator types of gooseberry plants. We're going to be listing them here on our local Craigslist here. And if you found this video of value, please give us a thumbs up, share it with your friends, and by all means, folks, take good care of yourselves. Bye-bye now.